Hello everyone, this is Mark at superagates.com and I'm at my big tumbler again. This time it's for polish. So we're going to stand this baby up, we're going to unlid it, and we're going to pour it out and see what we've got. I think I'll shut the tumbler off first. It's a heavy thing. The tumbler barrel empty weighs about 80 pounds. And I would guess there's probably about maybe 80 to 100 pounds in the tumbler of rough and ceramics. It's made out of PVC, lined with conveyor belt. And the PVC pipe is, I'm not sure what grade it is, but it's a very thick. So you can drill little bolts into it to attach the lid. This is always fun when you look at the finished product. The finished product is what makes tumbling a lot of fun. I'm anxious. So essentially, I put about 1.5 pounds of polish in this load, and it's a polish of aluminum oxide of very low grit size. I think it's 2 microns or about there. TXP would work as well. It has a grit size of about 4 microns. So it takes a little more tumbling. Now I've had this in for 10 days. Sometimes I'll leave it in for even longer than that. Well, let's see if we can get this lid off here. And there you can see the lid also has conveyor belt that lines the lid. The whole thing is lined with conveyor belt, basically, used conveyor belt. And there's the sort of the sludgy stuff that I get. This is because I use a lot of surfactant. I like to use Jet Dry, and now I've begun to use Simple Green as well. Now this is a little tricky. Fortunately, I'm in my shed so I can be as dirty as I want to be. You can see, if you watched my last video, I emptied it into buckets, but I have this screen as well. I don't think I'm going to get it all in there. The main reason I have such a large tumbler is because I want large pieces finished. Here's a piece of tiger eye. We'll rinse that off. And I can feel, just by feeling it, it's very slick. But just look at that tiger eye. High-grade tiger eye, a lot of silica in this piece. It's just beautiful. Just beautiful. And that's what I'm after, primarily. Secondarily, here's a piece of zebra that I've finished now. This comes from India. Contrast is very, very important in rock. You never get better contrast than black and white. And here's another piece of the zebra. And isn't that a lovely pair? Now, I couldn't do this certainly not in a 12-pound lower tone or even in my bigger ones, because you have to have enough room from end to end for it to move. And that's why I use the big ones. But those are lovely. And then I have some lesser ones in here too. Now, the screen I'm using is sort of a homemade screen, and it allows the ceramics to wash down into a collection tub and leave the rock behind. Sometimes I use just buckets, because it is quite an issue to make these. I have some white quartz balls, just lovely polish on these. I can just feel the polish. Lovely stuff. There's rose quartz. I use a lot of rose quartz because it has a good cushioning effect. Essentially what I'm after is the bigger pieces. Here is a piece of crazy lace that I've done. I love to do big crazy lace too. Another piece of bloodstone. And you can just feel it. When you take them out of the tumbler and they're so slick to the hand, you can just feel it. Now I want to give my appreciation to all my subscribers. I've hit 1,000 views, which is one of our goals in doing this. And it's quite fun to hit a goal. I do the rock because I love it. I do sell some on my website, Super Agates, but it's still a hobby that just is all-consuming for me. But this is a prairie agate that I could find. It's something about finding something that you can do yourself too is so much fun. Prairie agates are nice. They can have different patterns and colors. They were so looked down upon because everybody wanted Fairburns. Well, I do too, but to find a Fairburn is sort of hard for me since I'm 400 or 500 miles away. Another crazy lace. But you can see I've got just all kinds of different stones here. I've got some bubblegum agate. So the process of this is I've gone through, and the larger pieces would have gone through this big tumbler too, because it's the only tumbler that can handle pieces that long. I do the 60-90, and I run that for about 10 to 12 days, sometimes 14. And the grit breaks down so far that it's actually ready for polish. It probably goes down to about a 1500 grit. And from there I run them with a lot of the ceramics. As you can see, there were a lot of ceramics in there. And the smaller the better for cushioning. And I run that for about 10 to 14 days. 14 is probably a little better than 10, but it all just depends on how long you've got to do it, when it comes due. You don't want to keep running them because then you have more chance of damage. But you can see I've got carnelian, I've got quartz balls, I've got pink quartz, rose quartz. I got a Botswana or two in there. Bloodstone, petrified wood, amethyst. There's just, and prairie agate. Just a variety of different things, and it is fun to have a variety. Just look at that stone, how pretty that is. I love to empty these tumblers. I think I've pretty much gotten all of these out. I think I have a little more left in the tumbler here to dump, just for fun. That's pretty much empty. Get some more water here. But in a big tumbler like this, you can put quite a few different stones in it, which makes it so much fun. There is a crazy lace. Some more of the prairie agate. And prairie agate is very forgiving. It's very hard. It's very solid. It will almost take any amount of abuse. But even so, you want a lot of cushioning. You can see that in the end, I had a tremendous amount of cushioning, and if you want results in tumbling, you want to have the cushion. Whether it be the ceramics or the rose quartz or small agates, it all works well together to give that cushioning so that there's no banging. That's the key that I have found, at least for me. So I hope that this was somewhat interesting to you. And I appreciate you watching. I appreciate those that have subscribed. I'm now over 1,000 and I'm tickled. Thanks again. Okay, so I thought that I might give a little bit of a close-up of the results of this tumbler. I realized that I didn't get really good close-up shots before. And this is the results of this tumbler. And then to have a tumbler this big, but only this amount of finished product is unusual, but this is what I'm after. And it takes a big tumbler with a lot of cushioning to get it. But some beautiful pieces in there. That zebra, the huge piece of tiger eye, and some of the nice crazy lace. Just a lovely group of stones.